Grand Rising. Hope you had a restful night. And I knew a day will come when I'll do a video agreeing with Izzy Ugbede. Not because I disagree with her, but I'm not good on anything that has to do with controversy and the likes. You know what I mean? No. Or saga. But this is not a saga video. Now, Izzy Ugbede did a video in response to a lady who spoke about children, and she was addressing people who said, I may not be able to quote her verbatim, but I will try. Your ill-mannered children, when they come, they behave like animals, they do like this, they do like, So she used those words. People concord, even at first when I read, yes, a child who doesn't behave well is a handful. When you go to people's spaces, you're jumping on the chair, you're behaving anyhow, dragging things. You're just all over the place. But the truth must be told. Children are raised. You raise a child. And Izzy is very correct when she speaks of engaging children. But funny enough, when I went to her comment section, people did not agree with her. They said she should keep it. But let me try to break certain things down. When you give birth to a child is born. By the way, I wrote a book. That's why I'm commenting on this. It's an area of very deep interest and training. And the title of my book is For the Child's Sake. It's an easy read, a very easy book. If you hope to be a parent, or you're a parent, you should have a copy of my book. You should read it. It's my template. I use it. And I hope that in the course of this video, I'm able to explain to you and express myself very succinctly for you to understand what I'm saying. When a child you call behaves like an animal, what makes an animal an animal? It's wild. It's raw. It's authentic. Its energy is undiluted. Its energy is not refined. Right? There's no consciousness. I think that is it Sigmund Freud who postulated the ego, the idea, the super ego. Am I correct? The father of psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll try not to branch into that. Now, in my book, there are so many postulations, but I was able to put all of them together basically to help. There's a chapter that speaks of education. When you say a child is wild that behaves like an animal, that child is not refined. There's no finesse. Every child is born like that, with a snowball, a very big, high level of energy. Under education, there's a chapter that I spoke about energy alchemy. Energy alchemy. In the beginning of that chapter, I said it. I said that children are born with very high energy levels due to rapid physical and neurological development. Do you understand? An increased metabolic rate and an innate need for movement to support learning and growth. Now, due to high levels of energy, childhood is a perfect season to intentionally channel and convert this energy. Now, children come with a lot. And when you do not do the right things, you will complain. Now listen. In that page 57, where I spoke about energy alchemy, what is alchemy? Alchemy is transmutation. Transmutation from one stage, from one level, from one reality to the next reality. Now, those of you who did chemistry, you speak about it. The early chemists tried to alchemize base metals into metals of value. We also hear stories and we read about the early alchemists who tried to create an elixir of youth, a potion of youthfulness. And, from one level to the other, energy, so it's transmutation. So when I talk about energy alchemy, I'm talking about energy transmutation. So I'm talking about transmuting your child's raw, undiluted, God-given energy into a form that is productive, that is useful, that is valuable for that child. And I further broke down in my book, energy channeling. I tried to bring it down. So when this child comes, you say, okay, because you have a lot of energy, your energy is at 100, I'll give 20% to this, I'll help you channel 20% to this, 30% to this to this. So even in the quadrants of the child's life, the child channels energy. You give the child options. And you raise the child. So you see all of that energy. Imagine, okay, I don't want to give too many examples because it's already a mouthful. And when I spoke about energy, I further broke it down to guide parents. And I said, take into consideration the 3 domains of learning: psychomotor, cognitive, and affective. Teaching and learning domains. Those of you that learn and study, I have your education degrees, I'm sure you're conversant with this. Now, Psychomotor talks about the movement of the body, physical movement. Children move a lot. Children are fidgety. I'm not going to be the one to tell you that. You have children, you keep a child here, you wake up. When the child is born, the first thing you begin to see that this child is not having a problem is that the child moves. The child moves. Even when they give birth to a child, the response level, what people call that, is it Apgar score? So I'm sorry, I'm not a medical doctor, but let me leave that. Then when the child begins to move, the child is able to do things, psychomotor development. That's why you have a lot of, you think your school will develop psychomotor 100% for you. Allow the child, that's why you have the kindergarten module, kids in the garden. Then you go to cognitive, the child's mental capacity, the child's ability, the child's intellectual. And of course, which is often, because the cognitive is related to the psychomotor. And then you come to the affective, morals, values. Take that into consideration. It affects different quadrants of a child's life. And when you work with the domains of teaching and learning, how do you bring the child into this? What the child likes, what the child gravitates into. I worked with Howard Gardner's postulation of the 7 or 9 levels of intelligences. You would know as your child grows. The last time I made a video about my daughter, whose classroom work is when she does her due, she wants to do other things of interest. One of my uncles called me and said that I shouldn't have put out that video. I said, why? But I wasn't ready to have a conversation because it was my nap time. I was sleeping. It doesn't mean that my child doesn't do well in class. My child always comes home. I can show you if you want. I can send you a copy of her even midterm results. Her average is 93.6. Christine does very well academically. But I'm not carried away by that fact. There are other things that she's capable of, which is outside the confines of a classroom. As her mother, I let her thrive. So where do I agree with Easy? It is not enough for us to come out and say that a child behaves like an animal, a child doesn't behave properly, a child does this. It's because the child has high energy levels. And you as a parent has not channeled the energy appropriately. Easy spoke about engagement. She used the word engagement. Engage the child. Taking into consideration early childhood, puberty, adolescence, different levels. This is a whole session. I will not be able to say all of this here. If you bring a child to my space, I have a lot of things. A child whose energy has not been channeled, who has not been raised for, has the tendency. So in my house, this is third term. The girls have options. It will soon be holiday. From arts, because it's raining, they won't play tennis or any outdoors as much because the rains will stifle all of that arrangement or suffocate it. Then we have board games. We have chess. We have Scrabble. We have plot twist. We have all kinds of games that they've developed all kinds of games. And then we have the virtual book camp coming up, where they will read and research on other things of interest besides classroom. They will drop school book for a while. So yes, Easy Ogbede is right. Engage the child. You cannot just come out and call children animal, this, keep your children. So parents, it is not for us to call these children names. It is for us to do that which we ought to do. Who are you raising? It is not enough for us to complain about government. The people who run government are the people, are human beings. They are running government based on their own standard, their values. The men who raise their hands on women are people's sons who were raised. Character, it is in character and in learning. So what we have in society, we are talking about Olodo uprising. Olodo uprising should not be separated or divorced from parenting. Who are you raising? You want to change the society, raise the right people. The kind of president you want to see, the kind of governor you want to see, raise that person in your house. Your sons and your daughter are the potential governors and the potential presidents, potential ministers, potential civil servants. They are the ones. Raise them. Raise them. It's not enough to complain about the government. But what are you doing from your little corner? Rearing children. Raising children. It is not enough. So if you have a child, I want to ask you a question. Who are you raising? Easy Ogbede is very right. Engage these children. Intentionally so. Intentionally so. I made some examples. Look at your sports heroes. Serena and Venus Williams, what age? Kobe Bryant of blessed memory, what age? Rafael Nadal, what age? Should we go into music? Should we go into music? Playtime is of great importance. I coined the quote. I quoted other people in my book, but I coined the quote. I said depriving a child of playtime in their early or middle childhood is killing the child's capacity to perform in the future and now. Playtime is a very good time for education and for raising children. When your children have played enough, they will not go to people's houses. And play can be you can be intentional with play. I don't want to go too deep into all of these things. So once you release the child from the cage you call your own house, when they go to people's spaces, they will be jumping up and down. They will behave anyhow. What you have done is trap energy in your own house. Children cannot grow well around you. You've trapped the energy, so when they come out, that you release them from cage, they come and embarrass you in public, and then you think that the children are at fault. It is your fault. Easy is correct. Comportment is an adult thing, but then again, easy, let me add, that a child who is not well raised cannot even doesn't even know what comportment is in adulthood. I'm not going to go into detail. There's so much to say. Maybe you join my session, but click the link in my bio and get a copy of my book, the ebook. If you're in Nigeria, I can ship it to you as well. It's simple, it's easy. The tools are there, but you have to apply them. It's not just about mingling body fluids. You have to do the do. Easy is teaching you people. Engage the child. I didn't watch her video to the end, but it triggered something in me, and she's speaking the absolute truth. And the comment section in that video is pathetic because we have a long way to go. Some of your favorite stars, some of your billionaires, some of those who broke even in life, they didn't do that because of anything exceptional. They did that because they were raised using a particular module by their parents, their caregivers, the adults in their life. So I ask you today, if you have a child, what is your module? You're counting on the school. If you're in Nigeria, you're counting on the school. You are really counting on the academic system. You take your child to school in the morning, sit down in a class till 5 p.m., 6 p.m., nothing more, nothing less. Sometimes I shut myself and let children should play. But when you plan it out, your children will not go outside and embarrass you. There's a lot to say. Have a nice day. I hope I communicated. Yes, I agree with Izzy Ogwede. I never thought a day would come when I would have to publicly and openly agree with her. She's telling you the truth. Have a fantastic day. Get a copy of my book. Click the link in my bio. Read. Let's have conversations. Let's build a community of people who are raising children, who will make them proud, who will become high-value individuals. Have a nice day. Toodles.